No!
We'll get to the point eventually. What is... Oh, the fan blowing on us.
No, I'm
Extra
just...
effect.
It's just more of a... I'm hot.
Oh, yeah.
So I assume you are hot too. Yes. It's hot.
It's hot. It's Galveston. Did you say where you're at? We live on the moon, sorry.
I think Ducky ruined that in our show, and I was like, don't tell them where we live! Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sketty?
Mm-hmm.
Palm sweaty? Mom spaghetti?
This will be in the show. Alright.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Destruction.
Hey guys, so I wanted to do something different. It's a special treat with my friend Angeline.
Hello.
You've probably seen her in my vlog thing for Monster Falcon last year.
In the distance, far away.
Woo! So this is one of those once in a blue moon kind of thing. I don't do video reviews of movies, so we're gonna do one now because we just saw Don't Breathe. It's very
Interesting.
very interesting.
I don't know.
Okay, let's see what it's about first. So do you want to just say what the movie was about, or do you want me to take over?
I would take over. I'm not good at this. She's the queen of this. I'm
not good at this, guys. Let's see. So Don't Breathe is about these three people. I guess they're in their 20s, teenagers. I'm not sure their ages. I'm gonna say they're like in their 20s.
20s, yeah.
So I forgot their names.
Wait. Daddy had Money?
No, Money.
Yeah.
Alex and Rocky.
Rocky. Yeah.
There we go. So Alex is the smart one, and his
he's a down to earth sort of.
Yeah, voice of reason. Most times.
Yeah.
His dad works for this security company, so that's how the three of them, they break into people's houses
strategically
and steal stuff. Not very good on it, but we'll get to that later. So he helps with that, and Rocky just comes from a broken home. Her dad left, and she was sad, and she's trying to make a better life for her sister.
And the mother is just terrible.
She just drinks. Drinks. Stepdad, I'm assuming, is terrible. He didn't have any lines, so whatever. And Kevin Federline, Money. Totally looks like Kevin Federline. He has no personality. He's just a douchebag.
No, he's just there for, like you said, the general douchebagginess.
Yeah. And so they find out that they all have this goal of getting was it $300,000 or something?
300,000.
From this, like, blind guy, because Rocky wants to take her sister and move to California for a better life.
And $3,000 will definitely get you to California.
Yep. I not completely...
That's 1 month's rent.
Money's reason for wanting to steal money is really vague.
He
just wants the cred, I guess.
He just likes money.
Yeah.
It's his name's
his
money.
He has a really bad tattoo with a $sign on his neck. It's...
Yeah.
Alex, I'm assuming he's doing it to impress Rocky. Because he likes Rocky. So they... Friend zone! Okay, I'm done. We don't have the effects or budget for that. No. So they decided to break into the guy's house, and he inherited this money from an accident. Somebody hit his daughter, and they paid him off so she wouldn't get jail time. So they break into the house, and of course everything goes downhill, as you can see from the previews.
All the bad stuff happens.
All the bad stuff happens. Yay!
Here comes the horror cliches.
So let's talk about the movie without any spoilers.
Any spoilers?
Yet.
Would saying it's cliche would be a spoiler?
No. I think that's a given.
That's a given.
I think, I don't know if you watch a lot of horror movies. Do you?
I play more horror video games than I do
okay.
movies.
Well, you guys know I watch a lot of horror stuff. So, I think preview-wise, but I don't go to horror movies in the theater if I think they're gonna be bad. That I'm gonna regret it.
Mm-hmm.
I have gone to the theater to see movies, and they ended up being bad, and I regretted it afterwards. But the previews looked good. But this one looked good, and I thought it was good. So yeah.
Not spoiling it. Except several jump cuts here.
Jump cuts!
Jump cuts! Yeah, I'll let you go first.
No, you're the guest. You're
No,
the guest.
no,
You're the guest.
no.
Do it. What are you gonna say? Do you want to talk about, start with the characters, I guess? And
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like I said, you have Rocky. She's in the broken home, so she wants... I don't know what to say.
A new life. I don't know.
A new
I mean,
life.
that's her story's been told so many times.
So many times in horror films, and just in general.
Yeah.
Horror films.
Oh, I want a better life, or it's for my sibling, or baby, or whatever, because my parents suck because they either do drugs, or they're abusive, or they drink a lot, or all of the above. It's like nothing new, but I mean, it's not, they don't really delve into it too much.
It's just kind of just a setup for the character.
Yeah, it's just a brief background.
I can talk about one thing that I am interested in, that's the cinematography.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
So
Some of the visual cues, can be a little on the nose, a little bit.
like
To draw your eye in certain directions. It's like they want you to look. They want you to look here.
they don't do like a subtle like this is gonna be a pivotal thing later in the movie.
Yeah.
No, they actually just kind of pause and you're just kind of staring at it. One particular scene I remember, well, the first one was when this is not a spoiler at all.
It's just an observation.
When they pass by the tool room area and then they take a moment to like just focus on the axe while the other characters like bending down for stuff, and it's
a jarring visual cue because it doesn't blend in well with the rest of the pan.
Yeah, so there's a few moments. It's mostly at the beginning when they're breaking into the old man's house. They do this whole like, let's just sit here for a little bit, and then they move, and it just, I'd rather not.
The rest of it is pretty smooth though. You kind of feel, like I was saying, you feel like you're a little bit in a video game with the way the action moves.
Yeah.
You're waiting for the like little pop-up screen to say, what would you like to do?
But it got better visually, cinematography-wise. Yeah. It just was a little rocky in the beginning.
I think they're trying to feel their footing.
Yeah, it's like let's foreshadow this little thing.
Yeah.
Very, very obviously, and I think that could have just been done better.
Yeah.
Cough, James Wan, cough. He's very good at that. And if you guys have seen The Boy, they do a very good job of foreshadowing stuff. And then there were some scenes in that movie, not Don't Breathe, but The Boy, where it's like, you think this is a foreshadowing for something, but they don't use it at all.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, obviously they're gonna do this, and then they don't do it, which is, I don't know, I like stuff like that sometimes.
Catches you by surprise.
But yeah, the cinematography was good. Really liked, technical film grad thing. Some of the lighting moments when they were being chased in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Not a spoiler, it's in the preview.
It's the preview.
It's in the preview. Like, lots of, good red hues and stuff. I liked that. And
not the usual blue and orange.
Yeah. So, there's that. So yeah, I liked cinematography. I guess to backtrack to characters, I thought, excluding douchebag Kevin Federline money guy, I didn't care for him too much, but I guess you have to have that one super unlikable character you have to dispose of, and it's in the preview!
Everything is in the preview. You don't even have to watch the
No, that part is in the preview. Because they show in the preview when the old guy is in the hallway and he shoots someone, you can tell who's alive. So that's not a spoiler. So yeah, I didn't particularly care for him. He just actually collectively, their first burglary, we were both thinking they're the worst
There's
burglars.
the worst burglars.
They're terrible.
It's like they've never done this before. Yet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff they did right, like a little bit. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, let's not make a mess of glass. Let's, turn off the alarm.
Yeah.
Like,
The general
quickly.
things. Yeah.
But Mr. Money Dude just left all the evidence that
Yeah.
could be linked back to him.
Yeah.
I don't care about ruining this part because it's not a spoiler, but he, like, knocks over a vase. I'm like, oh, that kind of gives away that burglarized.
Yeah.
And then he pees all on the floor. I mean, that's deviant
DNA,
efforts.
yeah. You're...
Just not smart. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, if I was breaking into a house, I would not,
Just-
I wouldn't leave any destruction. I would
Yeah.
just take the stuff and then leave, but then afterwards, break the glass door and
Yeah,
run
it's-
away to
it's-
set the alarm off anyway. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Like you said, they're supposed to be meant to be sort of unlikable, or that one character.
Yeah.
Unlikable.
I guess if you guys read my blog and you've read my rant about unlikable characters, this movie doesn't really fall into that. I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Where it's, if you haven't read it, it's where current horror movies make unlikable characters so they can just have a kill count.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't even bother to have at least one likable one.
Yeah.
These were reasonably unlikable people. Like,
Yeah.
they all have flaws. Even the blind man, like, he's not a good guy. Either.
I think that makes it more realistic,
Yeah.
instead of just making, this guy is just completely and totally evil. No, they all have the shades of gray.
Yeah. Money is the worst.
Money is the
like,
worst.
like, you don't care. Like, he's part of the, he's a good example of unlikable character done right, where it's like, I don't like this person, he's probably gonna die first. And he died in the previews!
Yeah,
so there you go. But the other two, they have, well, I don't know how you felt about, like, Rocky or Alex, but I know Alex I was kind of cheering for. Rocky,
Yeah,
not so much, because, I don't know, she's just kind of...
I felt she had her heart in the right place, but...
She flip-flopped a lot for me. She's
Yeah.
like, maybe, but
Yeah.
no. But I still need, but
Yeah.
no. But then she kept taking Money's side, I guess because that's her boyfriend. I'm just
Yeah.
like, you could do so much better. Friend zone.
Yeah.
Look in the friend zone! Maybe I can find a boyfriend!
But I guess you just have to think about what you would do in that situation, how you would feel. I don't know.
I wouldn't rob a blind guy.
You wouldn't rob a blind- that was actually...
What? No!
That's
He's a blind guy.
The preview. I haven't seen all the previews.
Okay,
so.
yeah, they know it's, like in the preview they say it's a blind guy, so that's not a spoiler.
If I was doing a video review, it'd be like, there's this movie, and it was pretty cool, and then that would be the end of the review.
I can
So.
just leave out of the video and you can just finish it. So this thing happened.
This thing happened.
And things went whoo!
So
and,
vague.
and people died!
It's a horror movie, if you didn't already know that.
And people got away! And then the person died!
And you shouldn't breathe.
Yes. Don't breathe.
Don't breathe.
I think, let's see, I really like the concept because since I watch so many horror movies and I hate when they're like running away and you hear this heavy breathing and I'm just...
Yeah, it's like, there you are.
Yeah. Sadly, I fit my stereotype
And
of I talk through horror movies and a lot of the time I'm just like, stop breathing so hard! Just stop it!
And you see that used a lot in video games too.
Yeah.
You don't make a noise, don't attract the...
Yeah. I guess, I guess more recently, well, I guess it's not recent anymore, it's old, but, like Last of Us, where you make noises and stuff, or, yeah, I guess any survival horror where it's like, if you make a noise, the monsters will
Who's gonna
come,
come you?
and
Yeah.
they'll find you, or, Outlast, or things like that. So,
It makes it interesting.
yeah.
Builds that tension.
And I like that they, wasn't particularly fond of the soundtrack that much, and normally I don't really comment on soundtracks very often. If I do, it's usually because it's really outstanding or it's really annoying or not good. And this one was kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah,
like I understood what they were trying to do with like the really noisy parts.
Yeah,
like,
kind of jarring.
Yeah, to like I guess represent what the blind guy is hearing. That he's just confused. But what good I wanted to say was that I liked the quiet moments because those were the most. They had really good suspense moments. So
over the air conditioning in the movie theater.
or the sound system from the other
things.
theater.
It's like, oh, it's silence and then.
But it was still. But since the story was so interesting, you feel immersed in like you're with them and you're just kind of like. I don't know, holding your breath too, and you're just like, I gotta be quiet.
Yeah, and a lot of other movies, they will, instead of having that good, just drowning silence, they'll have a little music or something to take you out of the moment.
But this was completely silent, and like every time something gets hit or knocked over, you're just like, oh no!
It's really sharp and clear.
So I like the. This is not a spoiler either because it's not a preview, but the dark moments in the basement when they're in the dark, because you can see what they're doing, but they're not using that dumb like night vision.
Yeah,
they didn't need to do that. So, but those were like the tense moments. But I mean, there was a lot of good cat and mouse chases during the whole thing. It's a lot of that. It goes along with the cliche.
Yeah, where you're being chasing.
Not that, but
the
other thing that is a spoiler-ish thing.
I know.
So that's some good things, but yeah, for the most part, I liked that all of these characters, they weren't completely good, but weren't completely bad either.
They were just normal people, normal folk.
Because you would think, well, I mean, I kind of thought in a way that we would be on the blind guy's side because he's an old veteran and he's blind and he's being robbed. He's the victim.
But you will find, I didn't say anything, but...
It's not a spoiler. I mean, he's a badass, but... Spoiler, there's...
Yeah, there's things that you will find out.
But even trailer-wise, you're kind of questioning a little bit whether... I mean, you can kind of tell that he's a badass and that he can defend himself. Yeah. And so, I don't know, for me, I felt kind of like uncertain, like, well, maybe there's something more to this guy and why he's having so much fun playing with them.
Yeah.
Because they cut this out of the movie, but when he turns off the light in the basement, in the preview, he says, "Now you can see what I see." They didn't have that in the movie. He didn't say it at all, which I'm kind of glad because I thought that line was kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of things that you don't need to actually spell out for the audience. Like they kind of get the idea.
Yeah. So yeah, just the interactions between these three people and the dog were quite interesting, and just hearing, I guess, learning more about the old guy was really interesting.
Yeah, they don't. Going back to that, they don't really spell out things for you. Like some places will, or some movies will, like, oh, here's what's happening. They'll kind of narrate. I don't know what's going on, but yeah.
So
it makes you think for yourself on all the things.
It's not dumbed down. It's a good, suspenseful, fun movie, and there are going to be moments where you don't breathe. Yeah. I don't know. There was moments where I was just kind of still and just kind of. What's gonna happen? More of like, maybe I need to be quiet. I don't know. It's that. So, well, we kind of touched a tiny bit on some negatives, like moments. So I guess cinematography-wise, when we were saying that it stayed on certain moments too long.
Well, I said all of that's in the beginning. Like I said, it's kind of get a rocky start. Ha ha
ha. We're so funny. The beginning is kind of, well, one thing, well, I guess that's a spoiler, so I'll save that for later. Yeah. But yeah, the beginning, I guess that's where all the bumpy spots were, was that first robbery, and, I don't know, I kind of wish, a little bit with Rocky's story, that either there was just like a tiny bit more, or a little less.
So you could connect with the character a little bit more.
Yeah. Like, I wanted to either connect with Alex or Rocky. Like, Money is there's no way I could connect with him because he was just kind of robbing just to get paid and just to, like, leave. He wanted to leave
you
too.
wanted to leave too.
But it didn't
Like
seem,
I said, he was just unlikable.
Yeah, he just didn't have the concrete purpose as much as Rocky did, because she just wanted to make a better life for her sister and herself.
I don't know, I think, for me, I think they fleshed out the characters enough to know what you needed to know.
Yeah, I know.
Like with the security guy and the...
But I mean, it would have been nice to, like, I don't know.
Expand more.
Either...
Extras.
Either make it more cliched terrible parents for Rocky, or just, I don't know, give you less of it so it would balance out with Alex's story. Because really, everything that we learned from Alex was from a picture. Yeah. And then that's about it. That's all his backstory.
Yeah, I guess you had the individual backstory, but it didn't really say how they got together, how they...
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, here's these three random people.
I didn't mind that we didn't know, like, how the three of them got together, but I don't know.
Just something else to make you feel more for them, I guess.
Yeah. I kind of like attaching myself to people, but I mean, it didn't take away from me disliking them either. But it just seemed...
Into the philosophical stuff.
Oh. But they even give, like, the blind man's backstory, and that was...
Yeah.
Well, they kind of spread it out over time to more and more details, but his was rather short as well. It's like, oh, this is what happened. So...
I'm gonna give you the Cliff Notes version of the characters.
Yeah. I already said that the soundtrack wasn't...
It was...
so
the silence was golden.
Yeah, the silence was the best part. Not because the soundtrack was horrible or anything. It was just, it really made things scarier. And I really like movies that take advantage of silence and they don't have that like jump scare sound effect or the stinger. This is so played out, and I don't think they really did any jump scare stingers that I can think of. Did they? They didn't really do too many.
Not too many.
Yeah. It's fairly well built up, all the few little jump scares. There's not too many of them.
It wasn't to where it would just wear you out, like, in the first 10 seconds or anything like that.
It's more of like a sneaking, oh, there's a new shadow right there.
Yeah.
And then the character sees it too. It's usually...
none of that. Yeah, none of the Resident Evil jump scares.
Boo!
Yeah.
Or, infamous Silent Hill 2 Pop-Tart toaster jump scare. I did jump a couple times in the beginning with the dog and a door getting closed or something. Dumb stuff like that.
Yeah.
I hate that. Because it just makes me mad at myself that I jumped.
But I think it's just more loud noises, really, than anything.
Yeah, but I hate the loud noise jumps. Because I'm like, it's so cheap. I'm just like, stop it!
I guess it plays on that fight or flight response.
Yeah. Because I'll jump and then I'll laugh and then I feel stupid all at the same time. And I'm just like, there's nothing scary! It's just them like sitting in a car and all of a sudden dog jumps at the window and barks.
Well, your friend's laughing at you.
And I just have this shame just falling all into my nachos, and I just can't enjoy it anymore because they just taste like shame and sadness and embarrassment.
That's a new Doritos flavor. Shame and embarrassment.
Pick it up at your local Taco Bell. Well, I don't think there was too many bad things to say about it.
It's just pretty much, your basic...
I mean, even though we
horror
said
film.
Yeah, even though we said it was cliche, but the cliches were done very well.
Yeah.
There's ways to make cliches work.
You didn't have too many moments.
Yeah. I think if you add something new to the cliches they're using, makes it a good story.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, things are always going to be recycled no matter what genre, but specifically horror, there's only so many things you can do. It's like, I want to do a possession film. There's only, you gotta go with, you know, your basic possession. None of that. You gotta do your basic possession stuff, but there are ways to make it interesting. So, I'm not gonna get into examples or anything. So, I guess...
But you can tell she's better at picking out the more things that are consistent in horror films. I'm more sci-fi, comic booky type stuff. She's more...
I like spoopy stuff.
Spoopy.
All the spoopy things. All the good spoopy things.
I laugh at all the spoopy things.
I like to make funny commentary during like, this was a fun, like, Don't Breathe and the scary movie I saw before that, which was, oh god, what was it? I can't remember.
It was that scary.
No! It was one I saw in, oh, Lights Out! That's
Lights
what.
Out.
So, Lights Out and Don't Breathe are scary movies that I don't take. There's some movies I take seriously. So these two were like movies I don't take as seriously. Meaning I'm just going in looking for a fun time, not really to be scared or like, if I am scared, if it has good suspense, these are all like really good things as a plus. But they're movies like I expect to occasionally insert fun little commentary between friends and stuff, and this was one of them. And if you like movies like that, you have a black friend. No, I'm kidding. This is a good movie to have really funny commentary because Angeline had really good
Little whispered commentary.
and she's totally black. And we made my coworker laugh, who's not in this video.
Approximation.
It was very funny.
Completely silent movie theater and we're three are laughing.
Unfortunately, we weren't the only ones in the theater, so we couldn't be out and loud and proud about a commentary. Lights Out, it was just me and my coworker.
We had to be more respectful at this movie.
Yeah. There was an old couple, and I'm just like, that's relationship goals right there for me. I'm like, I want to take my husband out, and so we can have a cardiac arrest in the theater of our scary movie. And then there was two other couples and a guy sitting behind us, and I've seen that guy a few times. He's a regular at my job. But, yeah, so I didn't take it as seriously, but it's a good, fun movie. And those are always nice. I guess an example of a scary movie I do take seriously is The Conjuring.
Yeah, which I have not seen either. See, she knows all these. Yeah, I'm probably going to be inflicted upon.
So if you haven't seen my top, well, it wasn't a top. It was a list of my favorite directors. James Wan is one of them, and I adore him immensely. So I take his films seriously. His movies are fun, but I can't see myself making too much funny commentary throughout the whole thing because it's, I don't know, just the way it's structured is different. I'm gonna steal an idea, or borrow an idea, from one of the YouTube channels I subscribe to, even though I know this video is super long already. But from The Cinema Snob, if you don't watch him, you should watch his stuff. He does really good, really funny reviews, and he also does porn parodies. They're hilarious. But he does midnight screenings, and I always wanted to do kind of like a midnight screening video thing with my friends, so I go, so it'll get. Even though it's not midnight. It's the afternoon, evening. But sometimes they talk about the previews, so I'm going to talk about previews, what you thought. Because all the previews that were played, I've seen all of them except for the last one. So
I think we should start out with Ouija.
Yeah, Ouija was wasn't that one the first one?
One of the first ones, yeah.
So the first one was Ouija, was it Ouija Origins or something or other? I really don't care, so...
Yeah, actually the first one was Blair Witch, I think. Which is another one of... No, I guess it was...
Well, let's go with Ouija first.
Yeah,
you first.
Me first.
With Ouija.
I know you would disagree with me, but I kind of like...
I disagree!
I disagree.
Objection! Okay.
I actually kind of like the Ouija board stuff because I had a Ouija board when I was younger because that was
Oh, we can't be friends anymore! I'm kidding.
That was the in thing in the 90s because you had the craft and you had all that witchcraft stuff. So I had one, and it's kind of neat to envision the things that happen beyond the.
You know this is a sequel, right?
I have no idea.
Or a prequel or something.
Prequel. Oh yeah.
Because they already had a Ouija movie. I think this one's related to it.
See, I don't watch horror films.
I don't watch.
I play horror video games.
I don't watch Ouija movies. I refuse to watch Ouija movies.
Why do you? Let's hear.
I don't mess with Ouija either.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that goes with the black stereotype. We don't mess with no spirits, okay? That's why all the white people get possessed. We don't mess with spirits. Just know.
I have only been possessed 3 times. It's cool.
Not to be racist or anything, okay? Now I can see all those dislike buttons right now. But no, it's just kind of one of those things. I'm like, I don't mess with spirits. I don't know. I think it's just been ingrained in my, all through my childhood, like, just don't mess with
Don't
Ouija.
mess with spirits.
I'm just no Ouija stuff. I think the closest, there's been a few movies where they like sneak in Ouija elements, but it's not the focus of the movie. So I don't do Ouija movies. I will not play Ouija with you, but I will do Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Ouija, no thank you.
No.
Seances, no. I will watch movies with seances, but yeah, no Ouijas.
Only Luigi's. So no Ouija's.
Waluigi's. So the other one was Blair Witch, the next one. So, a movie that should not exist. Another movie that should not exist, Blair Witch.
This gives me motion sickness.
Let's see. There's a list, I'll link it down below, of movies I don't understand, movies I hate that other people love. I think Blair Witch was like number 1. Because you see it on everyone's like top like 5 list, or it's somewhere in the 5 of like, this is the scariest movie up. I hate Blair Witch.
I think at the time though it was just something that was new and invented, the found video footage thing, and then they just took it to an entirely. People were starting to copy it and stuff like that. It's kind of like the Matrix. Everybody wanted to copy what made it cool. Yeah, the slow time. and every movie after had some kind of found footage type thing.
As much as I want to like crap on like found footage, and I actually have in queue something about found footage, for the majority, in a general, I guess, perspective, I don't particularly care for found footage, but there are very, very, very few that I do like. It's not a lot.
Maybe they're not the focus of the thing.
Well, it is kind of like, let's see, there's Quarantine and the original of Quarantine. Those are found footage, and those were really good. But like Paranormal Activity and obviously Blair Witch, just I can't. Or I haven't seen this, but the VHS series, just no thank you.
I think you're starting to get into that kind of forced horror too, where it's like, oh, this is supposed to be scary. You should be scared by this, and it's like, no.
Yeah, a lot of the found footage that I find that is not good is that they focus too much on jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes me not like found footage as much, or they just don't do.
And also something that's supposed to be natural comes across as extremely not natural.
Yeah. So, watch Wreck or Quarantine, because those 2 movies are my favorite found footage. It's the found footage that I recommend to most people who want to, like, see a found footage movie, but that, and I didn't really like Cloverfield, so, 10 Cloverfield Lane, good, Cloverfield, bad. But Blair Witch, I'm just like, at first when I saw the commercial for it, I thought it was going to be a TV show, because there's been a lot of TV shows being made from old stuff, like Lethal Weapon and Exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was that, but when I saw that it was a movie, I just kind of groaned, because I did not like Blair Witch. I remember when I watched it, I remember when it came out, I remember hearing the stories when my mom used to work at the mall, and that people threw up a lot in the theater, and hearing that it was like the scariest movie ever, and they still say that in the previews to this.
Yeah.
I remember renting it from Blockbuster and watching it with my mom, and apologizing throughout the whole thing because they cursed so much, and I was under 18, and I kept saying, I'm sorry, Mom, because she can only take so much profanity. And I also got nauseous, and I was watching it at home. But it just was a whole lot of nothing, and I just feel like my prediction of, like, Paranormal Activity, when I did watch the first one, just out of curiosity, not going beyond first movie, because just no, waste of time. I kind of said that Paranormal Activity is a better budgeted Blair Witch Project, which it was. This Blair Witch Project is pretty much, hey, we have all this money now, so let's kind of sort of remake, but make sequel, kind of. I'm not sure, but from what I read, it's supposed to be like a third installment.
Just a lot of shaky cam. I think he's like looking for his sister or something like that.
And the closest I've been to watching the sequel was, I think it was either Phaelus or Obscurus Loop, a name drop review of Blair Witch 2, because I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this, like, ever. So that's the closest I've ever watched the movie.
I can't even remember what the other previews are. Some of them weren't horror movies. Previews.
Let's see. There was one called When the Bell Breaks,
which I think sounds like like it's a remake of another movie.
I don't know. I just know, looking at it, as a person of color, if you didn't recognize, I'm kind of tired of these obsession crazy concepts for black suspense movies. Because it's been done before. And I saw a commercial for something on one of the channels. I think it was either Centric or BET or something. And they were like, we're going to show such and such movie, and we're going to give you some extras on When the Bow Breaks. And I was like, but why? This movie that you're showing is basically the same thing without the baby. And I've already seen movies with that one crazy person that wants to take over the spouse and have them for their own. It's called Obsessed. It's called Perfect Guy. It's called, there's another one with Idris Elba, but that one. And it's just like, this concept has been used too many times. Like,
kind of like the horror genre.
Yeah, but I mean, it just seems like that's the only thing. It just feels, I guess, as a person who wants to do film and is like,
there's something new under the sun.
Yeah, as a person of color too, I'm just like, we should have as many options as like the typical regular horror genre.
Yeah.
Then this person is crazy and obsessed, and I want to steal your husband or wife or something because of whatever connection that they have, whether it's a baby or an affair or we work together or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I had a really good husband or wife, but I found someone interesting and I cheated on you, and now I do all this drugs and sex and blah blah blah, and religion saved me. Like, I'm just tired of these repeated concepts for my people. I just want more, but most likely I'll see it when it comes out on DVD because I don't want to waste my money on it. I didn't do it for Perfect Guy. I didn't do it for the Idris Elba movie.
Wait till it's $1 on DVD.
Nope, free.
Free.
Work. Get it from work. Check it out from there. So that was that preview. I think that was all the horror movie previews, because the last one was the scariest of one, called Sing It. Was it Sing or Sing It?
Sing.
Out of nowhere, this PG-13 pop.
It's for the kids.
Yeah, it was like an American Idol meets Zootopia.
Yeah. It's very colorful.
Yeah. Not as colorful as Zootopia, but it was pretty colorful.
And I think Sam Smith. Yeah.
I recognize Tori Kelly. Hey, brother, Tori Kelly's in it. So, yeah, that was kind of kind of random in a
Mhm.
way. I mean, I knew it was Sony, but
Mm.
still, it's like horror movie, horror movie, horror movie. Sing it
Yeah.
or sing.
See?
That's interesting. I don't know if I'll see it or not. It's right out of priority.
No. I think most of the really good stuff's coming out in November.
It's kind of dwindling down with, I don't know, October is usually like the hot, oh, I guess the fall is just really the hot time to put out scary movies,
Mhm.
which can be hit or miss. So, that's pretty much
That's
it.
pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah? Yay! We did an hour-long thing, probably. I'm sorry.
If you cut me out, it turns to like 15 minutes.
No.
Cut out all the bad stuff.
All the bad stuff. But, yeah, so that's Don't Breathe. It's pretty good. It's fun. We had
Don't
fun.
take our word for it.
I guess if I was doing like a standard rating thing like I do on my blog, I'd probably give it about a 3.5, 4, something like that.
I give it a 3.
That was alright, but it wasn't.
It wasn't anything groundbreaking.
No. Watch a James Wan film.
Yeah.
That's groundbreaking. It'll just make you feel all sorts of things.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Would that like be the meh rating? 3?
3 is an okay rating.
Okay rating.
Like
2.5.
2.5
That's
is
the
more
meh.
of is a meh.
The neutral.
It's like it's almost okay, but
2 3/4.
yeah, 3 is the middle. 3 out of 5. So 3 out of 5, and I guess I'll give it 3.5. I'll give it an extra half because I did have some good.
Some
I-
funny moments.
Had funny moments. I had fun. It looked pretty. In
I did like the basement scene. I did like the night shooting there.
and I liked that they, took advantage of cliche stuff too. So that's it. That's the end of the video. I hope you guys didn't fall asleep. I guess check out Don't Breathe. Just leave.